What is up, guys? Everyone here, coming at you with my first of two versions of Cyber Dragons. Now, the second version probably going to take a little bit of time because I don't have a lot of cards for it, unfortunately, right now. And this is my version right now as it is. Now, this is probably my least favorite one out of the two. The second one, I did it actually with a little bit of help in a video, which of course I'll give a shout out to the guy that actually I saw his video and got help from, and that's really cool. And this version is really fun. It's really cool if you want to take to make Cyber Dragons a little bit more than just the pure version, and just give them an aspect that could actually help them a little bit. Unfortunately, like most of my decks, this deck need a link monster, and pretty much all of my combos, unfortunately, revolving about new link monsters are coming in the Link of Rain pack. So that's pretty much it for that. Now, one also thing I want to say, this deck is pretty much in playtesting still, like I'm saying a million times, and because of that, I would like you guys to, help me once again, and also just, if you don't like those versions, go right ahead and change whatever you like, because creativity, I'm saying it every single end of the video, and I mean it. Creativity is the key in the game. If you don't create a deck that you like and enjoy, what are you doing even in this game? I don't think like the idea of the game is just like come and just play and that's it. You need to enjoy the game. You don't need to suffer. You want to play the best way you want. You want to play the things that you want. Don't let other people tell you what you don't need to play or what you do need to play. Do whatever you want when you're playing. Don't let too much people to criticize you. But without further ado, let's get started with this deck profile. Sorry that I took 2 minutes, but I just wanted to take this out of my chest, just to tell you what do I think about that. So this is basically an interesting version of Cyber Dragon, so bear with me when we get to this monstrosity. So to start things off, you want to run triple copies of Cyber Dragon, triple copies of Cyber Dragon Core, and then 1 copy of Cyber Dragon Dry. This is basically the most 9 important Cyber Dragon monsters in every, not 9, sorry, 7 most important Cyber Dragon monsters in every Cyber Dragon concoction, because you need 3 of the original Cyber Dragon because it's Cyber Dragon, 3 core because you're searcher for your spells and traps and just really will help you in the graveyard if you don't have anything, and just Dry just an additional name because sometimes you don't see those way too much, and just in general it could be a nice level 4 beater because it's 1800, so that's actually pretty cool. So that's pretty much it for the Cyber Dragon aspect, and I also considering this card kind of a Cyber Dragon. If it had the name Cyber Dragon, that make it perfect for the deck. I'm running triple copies of not Cyber Dragon, but I would like to call it Cyber Dragon Galaxy Soldier. This card is just basically another Cyber Dragon in my opinion. You just discard a light, special summon this. It's really simple, and search another one. So that's really nice. I love this card. This card is just perfect for the deck. And then for the other cards that I can search up with Cyber Repair Plant, which this card can search, I'm running 2 copies of Jazikiru, the Star Destroying Kaiju, to be your Kaiju. You understand what I mean. And then I'm also running 1 Electromagnetic Turtle, because it's just a nice card to discard and just save your life by aiming the battle phase. So it's really cool. I like this card at 1. And you don't really have to run him, I just like it, and I just needed another light machine in general, so because of that I decided to run this lineup of monsters, of light machines, to be honest. And that's pretty much it for this. Now we'll move on to the engine. Now this engine, you're probably going to hate me for that, but like I told you, this is my favorite engine of all time. I'm running triple copies of Alistair the Invoker. This is my favorite monster of all time, I would say, in main deck, and my favorite engine, because I love Alistair, because it just helps a lot of decks to just like that struggle to come out from a struggling bus and just have an easier time. He is fair after all, because he does need to take your normal summon, and the engine could be bricky, so he is a fair card, and I think like this card can also help tons of deck, and the new Link monster is also pretty crazy, but that is a discussion for another time, which I'm going to talk about the lore of Invoked in one of my videos, but once again, this is a video for another time. We'll speak about that when we need to. But free Alistair the Invoker, you already know what it does. It's really helping the deck. It just increases the ceiling, and when we get the new Invoked Link monsters, this deck will become so nuts. I will have 2-card or 2 even 3-card combo if you're not using Brilliant Fusion to just bring out an insane kind of board with just 2 cards, which is really, really cool. I love this card. It's pretty fair. The idea of just having a fusion engine just help a deck, and Invocation is also pretty nice as a fusion spell because you need just fusion summon from the hand to fusion for any monster. If you want to use Invoked, you need to fusion summon from the graveyard and the field, so that's what it enabled you. So that's really, really cool for that. And free Alistair, in my opinion, is just a must-off in the deck because it's the best we can have right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And now to support this deck, you were running also triple copies of Guitar and 1 copy of Mics. If you have the Brilliant Fusion engine, go right ahead. I just don't have it. So this is the other, you could say, side engines that I'm running. So Guitar and Mics also working the same idea, and they're also machines, which is really cool. And they're also wind, which is also pretty cool because it does help you also bring out a Raijin on the board, which is really, really nice. So Mics, you already know what it does. Basically, when you normal special summon, the most important about this effect is that you're getting another normal summon in addition to your normal summoning set. And what's crazy about that, it's not supposed to be only Mics, which is not Mics, but Symphonic Warriors in general, which is pretty cool. And the idea of Guitar is basically to search it by discarding a monster to just special summon it immediately to the board. I was considering playing it at 2 because it could break in the way of, like, you know, if you see it, it kind of breaks and destroy the entire engine. But in the other hand, if you're playing 2, you increase the chances to open up with this. So it's still in playtesting once again, but for now, I just like the way it is right now. So that's pretty much it for that, and that pretty much also does it for this to the monsters. Now we'll move on to the spells. I don't run any traps because in my opinion this is a deck that don't need any traps, or just traps are just going to destroy it, at least for now, because once again I'm saying this is not playtesting. So to start things over with, you want to run triple copies of Sun Repair Plant. This is a card that I am considering cutting it down to 2 because it's searchable by one called Cyber Dragon Core, but it's still pretty important because it does let you to add a light machine from your graveyard to your hand, and seeing a Cyber Dragon in the graveyard is not that easy and not that hard anymore, because you can just go Cyber Dragon in your hand and then Alistair the Invoker in your field searching invocation. You use this for, like, you know, fusion summon. This is sent to the graveyard, and then you get basically getting the Cyber Repair Plant search, which is really cool, and you continue your plays from there, which is again really cool. Next up, we're playing 2 machine duplications because the only target in the deck is Cyber Dragon Core, which lets you special summon 2 Cyber Dragons, which is really nice, but because it's the only target, you're only running 2 because it's a brick otherwise. So yeah, and then that's pretty much it for the related light machines or Cyber Dragon cards in general. And now we'll move on to the rest. So for the rest, I'm running, of course, triple Magical Meltdown because you want to see Alistair as soon as possible, and then 2 copies of Terraforming. I never believe in a 3rd Terraforming, especially in this deck. You don't need a 3rd Terraforming. I think that is enough already. You can see Alistair really easily, even though you might sometimes not see it. I'm just saying, Alistair, you want to see it as soon as possible, but you sometimes want to do other plays, so for that I'm just running 2 copies of Terraforming instead of 3. So that's pretty much it for that, and then we're also running 2 copies of Invocation because it's just the part of the Invoked engine. It's just pretty much it for that again. And pretty much it for it, and then we'll continue to the other fusion spells. So for starting things off, you want to run 2 copies of Instant Fusion because it's instant fusion to help you bring out a card from the extra deck. I am going to say that I'm missing some cards in the extra deck, and I'm going to explain what I will put instead of the card that I'm putting right now. So 2 copies of instant fusion because it does help you to bring out a level 5 out of your extra deck, which help you to continue Xyz plays or just fusion spells or whatever. Just in general, it's really good card. Then because we're playing Cyber Dragons, I decided to play 2 Power Bond because I just felt this deck is not bad with Power Bond, because you can even do Power Bond on Mikaba, which is really, really cool. Bringing a 5,000 powerful Mikaba, which I am actually even considering maybe running in some other decks of mine, because it does let you fusion summon that machine, fusion monster from your extra deck using monster from your hand or field as fusion materials. And it doesn't have to be all the materials machines, which is really, really cool. And because of that, I'm thinking like to run it in my Bloodluster Soldier as the one tech off, because it does help me to bring out a 5,000 attack Mikaba. Yeah, sure, I'm taking 2,500 damage, but it's really, really strong. It's just really, really cool, and I love this card. Then one copy of Overlord Fusion, because you want sometimes to banish card from your graveyard to do fusion summon for dark fusion monsters. And then that's pretty much it for that. And then for the last 3 spells, that's pretty much power spells or just helping spells. You want to run 2 copies of Twin Twisters to just clean up back row, because this deck is good going second. And then 1 copy of Limiter Removal to just help you OTK. So if you have this and a monster with a power bond, this making a Mikaba 10,000, which is really, really crazy and really, really fun. That actually happened a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Now we'll move on for the extra deck. So for the extra deck, you want to run 1 copy of the new Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. Now, if it was the other version, I'm running it at 2, but for this version, you only need 1 because I don't have the space. And this card is really, really cool to getting rid of annoying extra deck monsters. 1 copy of Fortress, because Fortress, you already know what it does. 1 Twin, because it's just really, really nice to bring out. And then 2 copies of Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. Pretty simple, you already know what the Cyber Dragon does. And then for the other fusions, you want to run not mostly, but massively, you want to run 2 copies of Mikaba and 2 copies of Raijin, which I would cut one of the Raijin to a Panther Dragon. Unfortunately, I don't own a Panther Dragon, but this is supposed to be another Panther Dragon, so yeah, you don't really go to more than 1 Raijin, so that's why I decided maybe to cut it. But you can even cut one of the Chimera Techs if you're feeling like it's bad, so you don't have to run it if you don't want to. So 2 Raijins, just because it's another Book of Moon and it's really, really cool. And that's pretty much it for the Invoked that you need for the fusions. You only need those 4 in my opinion. No Lycian, nor anything like that. Now that is for the fusions. Now move on for the Xyz. So for the Xyz, you want to run double copies of Cyber Dragon Infinity, double copies of Cyber Dragon Nova, and this is supposed to be Constellar Pleiades. Unfortunately, I don't own a Pleiades, so I'm running instead a Shark Fortress, which could be nice. So yeah, not one of that is not that bad. I mean, I'm missing the Pleiades, but it's not that bad. So Cyber Dragon Nova, you already know what it does. Cyber Dragon Infinity is the negator. And Pleiades, which I'm recommending to run instead of this, you once again know what it does. And then the last extra deck monster is a Decod Talker. And that pretty much does it for this extra deck as well. And that pretty much does it for this deck profile. This deck profile is really, really simple, really, really fun, and I think you should give it a try, because you could give it your new tweaks and new things, and I think, like, you know, creating things by yourself is really, really fun. So yeah, that pretty much does it for that. If you would like it, I will do another update in the future. Unfortunately, I like the other version of Cyber Dragons that I have, because it's a lot more, we could say, fun and more consistent in my opinion, but unfortunately I don't have the cards yet, so I'm ordering them with my other cards that it's supposed to arrive sometime. So yeah, that's it for that, and hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember, creativity is the key in this game. I mean it. Have a good day, guys.